Ciao, sono Mary Ann Esposito.
E io sono Maria Pia Vitagliano.
And today we're in Pisa at the Piazza dei Miracoli. And believe me, the Leaning Tower of Pisa is a miracle. As is what we're going to be cooking nella cucina today, a Livornese fish stew.
Buono.
That's it, real fast, real fast. Come on, get that baseball arm moving.
Oh,
Ok.
Okay.
non c'è ketchup.
No. Già vedi, mi fa la foto.
Basta?
Sì.
Sono molto delicati.
Molto delicato. Grazie a lei.
Grazie Mariana, grazie a voi.
You know, my mother's favorite leftover sandwich. Come on, you're Italian. Isn't this beautiful? Look at how pretty this is. It's delicious. How do you like that? I think you're great. And now we're ready to do the twist. So, looks gorgeous, smells wonderful.
I use my hands.
I love this woman. Okay. There's a lot more to Pisa than a leaning tower, although there's nothing like it in the world. And I'm so glad that we still have it. But Pisa is also home to a good friend of mine, who when I think of Italy, I think of Maria Pia, her lively spirit, her quick sense of humor, and her love for life adds creativity and excitement to whatever she cooks, nella cucina. Today it's fish, and I can't wait to see what she comes up with.
Triglie alla Livornese.
Alla
Livornese.
Allora.
So you need olive oil,
See?
garlic,
All right.
light brown
garlic. Left whole.
Left whole, yeah.
All right, and this is Tuscan olive oil.
And this is Tuscan olive
And
oil.
triglia, we're making this dish in the style of Livorno.
Brava, Livorno,
Sì, Livorno,
yeah.
brava.
On the Tyrrhenian Sea.
On the sea, okay.
Triglie
Yes.
alla Livornese.
Okay.
And you put... Do you know this little machine, Mariana?
No, you know, this is a cute little machine. I need to get one of those.
Very funny. Look here.
I usually do it
have
by hand.
fresh.
Should I take it out?
Yeah, I think it's
out?
better.
Okay, let me take it out. All right, I'll put it there.
Yeah.
Okay, and now?
And now,
Well, this
look
is
here.
a great idea.
Isn't it
Yeah.
nice? It's very quick.
I've got to get one of these.
I think it's too...
How much? How much parsley are you going to use?
Oh, I think minced 1 spoon.
1 spoon. Okay. All right. So
Yes.
garlic, parsley,
And then, wait.
Tuscan olive oil,
Tuscan
extravergine,
Then...
un po' di peperoncino.
Oh, you can put it
See?
after. Yeah,
Okay.
it doesn't matter.
All right.
Here we have tomatoes.
Tomato. So we can
Tin
use
cans.
fresh tomatoes or canned
Or
tomatoes.
canned tomatoes.
This is a very quick sauce. You probably
Yeah.
could use this sauce over pasta, couldn't you?
Yeah. It's
very
wonderful
good.
for pasta too.
Okay.
Then you
Yeah.
put
Peperoncino. See,
peperoncino.
A little hotness goes in.
pepper,
Hot
yeah,
pepper.
hot
You could leave
pepper.
it out if you didn't want to have hot
Yeah.
pepper in it.
Or pepper, regular
Regular
pepper,
black
if you
pepper.
want.
Okay, I like the hot
Or-
pepper.
And then a little
And
bit
sale
salt again.
marino.
Sale marino di nuovo.
E non si usa vino, il vino.
No.
Questo basta?
Il vino si beve, vino bianco.
Okay, I asked her if she put any wine in it. She said, no, you only drink white wine with this.
With
Okay,
fish.
With fish, yes,
We
okay.
usually, you know the triglie alla Livornese? Triglie are le Livornesi because they are from the seaside around
Livorno,
Livorno.
on the coast.
Livorno on the coast.
Yes.
Yeah. And
They're
you see,
little.
they're
Are they
not-
always this small?
They can be smaller, but this is the right size for the
For
triglia
this
alla
dish,
for this
okay.
dish.
For triglia alla
Livornese,
Livornese, this is the right
Or
size.
triglia in umido,
In
because this is umido,
in
tomato,
umido, a sauce.
you know, the sauce.
Yes, okay, so they're all cleaned, ready to go.
They are clean
Okay.
and they are ready to go.
They look
of
like
course.
they're a very
Yeah,
delicate fish.
and they are very delicate. You must put them very delicate
Into the sauce.
sauce.
Okay. And you leave them
So,
whole. so that you have the
Yeah.
best flavor when you
Yeah.
leave them whole.
So,
And just in a single layer, right, Maria?
yeah. Never
Okay.
put them one
Can you get that
on
one
the
in? I
other.
think you
Yeah,
can,
yeah,
because he's a little one.
See, this is a
Okay.
little one.
Maria Pia, how much time is it going to take for these little fish to cook the triglie?
5 minutes, Mary Ann.
5 minutes. You
Just
see that?
5 minutes.
Boy, when you have fresh ingredients, things go by very quickly
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
kitchen, don't they? All right, well, they're cooking. Why don't we get the dish ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Mariana, the fish is ready.
Wow, they look beautiful. Triglie
Good, buono.
alla Livornese.
Really, it's hot.
Wow, okay.
So?
Want me to do this? I love this
Yeah,
little gadget.
yeah,
What'd you
yeah,
call
yeah.
it again? A
Trita
prezzemolo.
prezzemolo.
It just sings, and you put...
Trita prezzemolo.
That just kind of dresses that up so nicely, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And Maria Pia, that was so easy to do.
Yeah.
I can't wait to
I
enjoy
told
that.
you. Yeah.
And
I
after
hope
we do,
Yeah.
I am going to go nella cucina, where we're going to cook another Livornese special called Caccuccio.
This is good.
Okay, Maria Pia made that wonderful red mullet dish for us. You see how quickly that went together. Well, we're going to stay in the Tuscan fish tradition today and make something from Livorno called caccuccio. Say it with me, caccuccio. And it's a word that translates to mixture. And this is a mixture of different fishes that we're going to make into a very quick stew. So you want a different kind of fish for each letter of the letter C that is in the word caccuccio. And there are 5 C's, so we need 5 fishes. And in order to begin, we want to make a battuto. And a battuto means something that's beaten down in Italian. And it's really the flavor ingredients that start off the dish. So we want to begin with 1 large onion. We're going to do this right in the food processor because this makes it very simple to do this. And then 3 cloves of garlic. And with it, we want some parsley. And this is Italian flat leaf parsley. And this is the type of parsley that you want to use. You don't want to use curly parsley, which really doesn't have a lot of flavor. So in goes the parsley, about 1/4 cup. You want some fresh basil, about 6 to 8 leaves. They go in. And because we're talking about Tuscan food this season, we absolutely have to have some fresh sage. So here are 2 wonderful looking fresh sage leaves. So now we just put the cover on, put the top on, and get this into a really minced mixture. So let it go until it's very fine looking. And then you're ready to put this into olive oil. So there's our little mixture. Look at how beautiful it looks. And now we're going to put it right into the pan. Let me take that out. And it goes right into our olive oil, right in here. And we're going to cook this down now just until the onions begin to soften. It's a pretty color too. So get that in and then just stir it around a little bit. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. And now we want to begin to prepare our fish. Smells delicious. So, to the fridge. And we want to get the fish out. And remember, I said 5 different kinds of fishes because this is caccuccio. This is what we're making today. So let me move this off to the side and get this out of the way and talk to you about fish. So, what are we going to use here? Well, you can use a combination of any kind of fish that you like, but this is what I like to use. Here is some fresh squid. And you don't really want really large ones. You want smaller size ones because they are much more tender. So we've got the squid cleaned with the tentacles. And then we have swordfish. We've got a little bit of monkfish. We have some scallops, fresh scallops. And here we have some shrimp. So this is all going to go into our stew. Now let me turn the heat up on this a little bit. get this going. And let's prepare the squid first. So to do it, you want to bring them home so they're nice and clean. Or if you have to clean them yourself, it is not difficult. I think I've showed you how to do this before. So in this preparation, you want to start with the fish that take the longest time to cook. So start with the ones that are going to take you a little bit more time. So in this case, it's going to be the squid. So you want to cut them up, into 1-inch pieces will be fine. And we have a 1/2 pound of the fresh squid, which in Italian is known as calamari or calamaro. So there is the fresh squid, and as soon as that is cooked down, I'm going to put this in after I add a few more ingredients. Now first I have to wipe off my hands because that's smelling good, and actually it's getting me very hungry. Okay, now along with this, we want to add a little bit of hot red pepper. So a few little hot red pepper flakes go in. If you don't like hot red pepper, you can leave it out. And then we need white wine. And we want about 1 cup of white wine. So now I'm going to turn the heat up because we really have to have this evaporate. So about 1 cup of white wine goes in. And we want to stir this around. I'm going to give this a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Looks good already, and I'm splashing it all over the stove. Okay, now let's go back to the fish. Here we have fresh shrimp. And when you get them in the store, you see they have the shell on, and you just need to peel that shell back and just pull, and the shell comes right off. So let me do that again for you. Just peel the shell back, like so. Sometimes they're a little slippery, and pull off the shell. And one more. We have a 1/2 pound of the shrimp here as well. So there, that's the, I didn't get that one so well, did I? But that's okay, because you're going to eat this anyway. Okay, now I have it. So there are our shrimp. Now once the wine has evaporated a bit, then you want to put in the other ingredients. And here we have fresh, or bottled rather, clam juice. If you have fresh clam juice, that's even better. So you want 1 cup of clam juice to go in. So 1 cup of clam juice. Stir that around a little bit. And then about 2 cups of plum tomatoes, or you could use beefsteak tomatoes. If you didn't have fresh tomatoes, you could use canned tomatoes. So they go in. So now this is going to begin to look nice and colorful. And this is our stew. This is a pesce in umido, so to speak. All right, there are the tomatoes. And now we can start to add the fishes. So in go first our squid. Now, this isn't going to take very long once this is in here. Now we want to cut up the swordfish. So all we want to do is chunk this up. And when I was with Maria Pia in Pisa, of course, we spent the day in the kitchen making that red mullet dish that she also did in Umido, that is in a stew. So now we add the swordfish. I'm going to turn that heat way up now. I don't want to overcook the fish, but I want to get that in there so that I got a good heat under that. Look at how pretty that's starting to look. So there's the swordfish. Then we want our shrimp. And you know, as soon as shrimp turn pink, they are cooked. So you want to put those around. That was a 1/2 pound of swordfish and a 1/2 pound of shrimp. And that is actually my favorite fish. And then here is the monkfish. We want to cut that up. Monkfish has a flavor that's almost similar to lobster. So that goes in all chunked up. Does this look good? And we're going to be serving this over, you guessed it, bread. So mix this all around. And the last fish, were you counting? We have 5. the last fish we have to add are the scallops. So now they go in. That was 1/4 pound of scallops. So now we mix that well, give that a little seasoning, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and we cover this and let this cook until the fish begins to flake. And I'm going to turn this down now just a little bit. I'm going to turn it down because I don't want that to overcook. And now while the fish is cooking, we're going to get some bread ready because we need this bread for our soup bowl. We're going to put this in the base of the soup bowl. So you want to get some extra virgin olive oil going in a pan. And let me just wash my hands here for a minute because now they're really sticky and fishy. And we have some really good looking Tuscan bread. So I want to take some slices of bread just like this. All we did was cut up some slices of Tuscan bread. If you didn't have Tuscan bread, you could use any kind of bread that's a sturdy type of bread. And put it in your pan. And you want to brown that on both sides. So let's put in 3 or 4 slices into our olive oil. This is a wonderful Friday night supper. And let's get that cooking now so that we can get that nicely browned. So then the last thing you have to do while that's all cooking, let me move this out of the way now, is get some lemon juice ready. And please don't buy that stuff in a can because it just doesn't taste like lemon juice. You want to use real lemon juice. And to do that, you need to get yourself one of these, a little lemon reamer. Or you could just squeeze it by hand. So get the lemon juice in your little bowl. And then you want to add this to the fish stew. So you want to put in the lemon juice, about 2 tablespoons without the pits, into the soup. And you see how the fish now are starting to turn color. But I know they're not ready yet, but it's coming. So put the cover back on. And now we need to do something about this bread because I can hear it crackling back here. So let's turn that. This is looking beautiful. Turn this one, and the last one. And then after you've browned it in the olive oil like that, you want to get out a dish and some paper towels in order to drain that. So now let me move this out of the way. And what are we going to have with the fish stew after that? Well, we're going to have a nice green salad. So as soon as I can take this out, and I think I can right now, this doesn't take very long at all. Get all those slices for you. You know, sometimes a fork works better than these gadgets. So there is our bread, all nicely drained, and that just sits to the side until we're ready for the fish. So now we can turn this off. And the perfect salad for this is just a plain, wonderful green salad. And here are some fresh greens that I've already cleaned and spun dry. So you want to put them in your salad bowl. That's enough for 4 people, don't you think? And then we want to just make a simple vinaigrette for this. So let's try some white wine vinegar today. So some white wine vinegar, usually in a ratio of 1 to 3, 1 part vinegar, 3 parts olive oil, some salt, put a little salt in there, and get myself a whisk, and just whisk in 3 parts of olive oil to the 1 part of white wine vinegar, and make a nice emulsion as you go along. You know, Italians are not into other kinds of dressings except olive oil and vinegar or olive oil and fresh lemon juice. Okay, then all we need to do is pour this over the salad, save some for later. And give this a nice toss, and we're ready to have a really easy supper. A beautiful tossed salad with fresh greens and our fish stew, which I can tell you right now I'm smelling and I'm thinking it's almost cooked. So let's take a look and see. So let's take the cover off. Oh, yes, and lower the heat on this. And let me get out a fork. And when the sturdier pieces of fish flake, when they flake, then they're ready. Well, you see how the shrimp have cooked and now they've turned a nice pink color. And I'm trying to find a piece of swordfish to flake. And there you see, I just broke off a piece, and that is actually cooked. I'll prove it. So, this is ready. I need a little bit of salt. I'm going to give it a little extra salt. I'm going to dish this up for you, and you're going to enjoy Caccuccio, fish, 3 C's, 2 C's more, making 5 C's, the 5 fishes for the word Caccuccio, which means mixture. Caccuccio, classic fish stew from Livorno. And that's what we made for you today. And to eat it in the Tuscan style, you have to start with bread in the bowl. So there's the bread that we fried in a little bit of olive oil. And now it's time for the fish stew. And you remember, we used 5 kinds of fish. 5 kinds for the word Caccuccio, for each of the 5 C's: swordfish, shrimp, scallops, monkfish, and squid. And there it is, all ready for the eating. And to complete the meal, how about a wonderful green salad, an insalata verde with extra virgin olive oil and white wine vinegar. And for dessert, well, naturally, a Tuscan would start with Tuscan pecorino cheese and fresh pears. And until I see you nella cucina again, I'm Mary Ann Esposito. Ciao.